1090 cars, Super Street, round number 1. And we're ready to rock and roll. Everybody joining us this morning on DragRacer.tv. Glad to have you aboard. And we are getting ready to send the first pair down the racetrack as Barney Barnhart and Ron Foss going to line us up. Our first pair here in Super Street competition. Round number 1, getting ready to come at you. Foss on the right. Jackson's Racing Engines. Big block powered Camaro and Barney. Over on the left-hand side, rocking, rolling, and rumbling. The Blaster, 1966 Chevelle. Foss off and running, headed down the racetrack at the stripe, goes motoring through 1075. 130 miles an hour, 1092 for Barney. We are underway, and Barney Barnhart, our first winner of the day. Foss and Barney pretty much dead even out of the gate. Foss, just a little bit too much stripe down there at the other end. Larry Zepchinski and Mark Harmon come rolling in next. Mark over on the right-hand side, the Indiana-based 69 Camaro, taking on the Mopar machine of Zepchinski. Valparaiso, home base for the Mopar machine, and Larry goes red by 0.02 of a second. Mark Harmon was tripped, zip, 0. Leaving the starting line and runs through with a 1086. 133 mile an hour lap, 1095 by Zepchinski. 122 miles an hour. Jason Satterley, left side. Jim Unum over here on the right. Firebird taking on Camaros, 69 vintage for both of them. Stock Eliminator, left side of the ladder. Stock Eliminator, round number 2, left side of the ladder, please. Need you to lane. Stock Eliminator, left side of the ladder, round number 2. Needs you to the staging lanes, please. Satterley on the left-hand side. Wheeling and dealing is Camaro. Jim Unum with his gorgeous 69 Pontiac Firebird over here in the Chevrolet side of the racetrack. Green lights up there. I think somebody went through the Super Street pits this morning and passed out some fresh caffeinated coffee. Holy guacamole, we're seeing a lot of good lights. 1089.9 beats a 1088.0. Satterley getting the win at the stripe. Unum took the stripe by 8 thou, broke out by 20 thousandths of a second down at the other end of the racetrack. Satterley was 005, 1089.9, missed a perfect lap by 6 thousandths of a second. Ron Butts taking on Tim Irwin, the boss man over at the R&D department of Mosier Engineering. Wheeling his big block Chevy Nova here on the right-hand side. Butts, the all Buick Grand Sport 70 vintage machine. Tim Irwin out of the gate. Butts right alongside. Here comes the top end charge of Timmy. Finish line, winner, chicken dinner, 1091. 140 miles an hour, 1095 by Butts. At 119 is Irwin. Able to use that gargantuan big block Chevrolet performance to come charging from behind and get the win. Paul Brown and John Hellman come rolling in next. Hellman has that gorgeous, solid, deep black 69 Nova SS. The Minnesota-based runner. Big block combination underneath the hood, taking on Paul Brown's Cass City, Michigan Mopar ride. 500 plus cubic inches of pit to start power underneath the hood for Paul. 1090s on the scoreboard. Ready, aim, fire. And away they go. Hellman on the left-hand side, Paul on the right. Cass City, Michigan taking on Rice, Minnesota, and it's going to be Rice, Minnesota getting the win. 1091.0, taking the stripe and the win by 26 ten-thousandths of a second. 1093.7 by Paul. Paul had the better light. Hellman stuck the nose of that Chevy 2 out in front by just about the width of a frog's hair and gets the win down at the other end of the racetrack. Dalton Deffenbach comes rolling in next. His 69 over there on the left-hand side, taking on Ronnie Gerstner's 4-cylinder Civic. The Civic can run the number. Just a matter of being able to put all the parts and pieces together in the right order to do it. It can also run way under the number. So let's see how Dalton and Gerster will this run down the racetrack. Honda 4-cylinder. Out in front. Dalton pulling up alongside now. Taking the nose of the Nova out in front. Finish line stripe. It's going to be Dalton getting the win. 11:07 at 118. Takes out the 11:05 by Gerster. Dalton was 0-3 on the tree. Robbie Sesko and Kevin Adams get ready to duke it out next. The Ohio-based Camaro left side, the Indiana-based Chevy Nova here on the Chevy side of the racetrack. Stock Eliminator, left side of the ladder for round number 2. Need you lanes, please. Stockers, round number 2, left side of the ladder. Need you to the lanes, please. Come one, come all. 1091 beats a 1098. Robbie Sesko, teacher out of Ohio, gets to stay and play for round number 2. 1098 won by Kevin Adams. Down at the other end of the racetrack, Kevin was holding 7 thou leaving the starting line. Couldn't cash it in down at the other end of the racetrack. Because our West Virginia runner, Dale Schaefer, comes rolling in next. The Ford Maverick taking on Chris Harden. First generation Chevy 2 out of Ohio. Buckeye State runner trying to hold out the West Virginian. Not going to get her done. Dale Schaefer, your winner. 009 on the tree. 1096.4 at the other end. Puts together enough to get the package win. 11:06 by Harden down at the other end of the racetrack. Not able to seal the deal. 1,320 feet away. Jason Hennessy, Pontiac GTO out of Pleasant Hill, Missouri. And Kelly Sperry, 64 Chevy Deuce. Kelly wheeling and dealing the first generation economy car from General Motors back in the day. Now with 400 cubic inches, mouse motor underneath the hood, 600 plus cubic inches of poncho for the Missouri runner there on the left-hand side. Wheels up launch for the payroll specialist. Here comes the diesel tech. Big motored Pontiac charging the India. Looking to take the Warpath route to the other end. Gets her done. 1092. 137 miles an hour, 1091 by Kelly Sperry. Hennessy, 137 miles an hour. Kelly, a $121 for speed. Hennessy using that top end charge to close in at the other end of the racetrack. Stock Eliminator, round number 2. Left side of the ladder, need your lanes, please. Stock Eliminator, round number 2. Left side of the ladder, need you to the lanes. Jimmy Barrister, Jay Wilson. Shaping up to do battle now. First generation Nova over here on the right hand side, taking on the Little Vega wagon. Double breakout decided by 0.02 of a second. The win going to Jimmy Barrister. 1089.4 to $137 for speed to a 1089.2 at 133 for Jay. The Milan, Illinois based runner, unfortunately, gets the opportunity to head home early and get ready to go drive the delivery truck tomorrow. Wade Kelly's Chevy Beretta, swimming pool contractor out of Mount Vernon. Randy Ship, Ray Skillman Auto Group, Ray Skillman Chevrolet. Here on the right-hand side of the racetrack. Big blocks of pair. First gen Camaro. Swoop nose, slope nose. Chevy Beretta for the swimming pool building. Kelly off and running. Randy grabbing just a little bit at the starting line. But Randy grabbing a little bit too much at the finish line. Ship's day is done. Wade Kelly gets the win, running 1092 at 149. 1083 by Randy. Randy forgot the main purpose in drag racing, and that is to look over your left shoulder to see where your opponent is. Because he grabbed way too much finish line stripe down there at the other end. Ship will take a look at that time slip and go, nope, can't believe I did that. Randy Lynn and Bo, I'm sure, looking on and listening in this morning. Sorry about that one. Chris Perriman, Rob Foss. Rob over on the left-hand side. The Bill Jackson's race engine, small block combination. Underneath the hood of that Chevy S10. Merriman working his way down track alongside. Not going to happen. 1092 by Foss, good for the win at 122. 1095 by Perriman over on the right-hand side. He's 41,000 short. Down at the other end of the racetrack. Kenny McNichol, the fleet manager out of Andersonville, Tennessee. And he looked at a 1981 Pontiac Grand Prix and said, hey, looks like a pretty good super street car to me. Well, Kenny, it works. Parked it in the winner's circle before. Got Jeremy Schell here in this round. Jeremy's little original Chevy 2 over there on the left-hand side. Jeremy gets to put the Schell machine in the box as McNichol gets the win. 1091-1, taken out at 1093-3. 120 miles an hour. McNichol had a little bit better light, parlayed it into the win light. At the other end of the racetrack, Rudy Matthews pulling in now to take on Mark Smith. Oh, one of the big dogs going home. Which one is getting kicked off the porch is the question. Rudy Matthews left side, Mark Smith right side, the attorney out of Bowling Green. Two good drivers, two good cars. There goes Mark. Rudy, where were you? Mark Smith out of the gate, probably looked over and goes, wow, what happened to Rudy? 11:08 by Mark, 122. Rudy Matthews' machine did not move when the tree came down. Runs through 11:45 at 126 miles an hour, and I can imagine what Rudy Matthews was saying as he ventured down the Skillman Auto Group side of the racetrack. I can imagine, I can't repeat, but I can imagine. Tim Purcell's Chevy Nova. Love this car. Clean, neat, simple, quick, fast. 72 Nova SS on the right-hand side. Taking on Marcus Bush. Second-generation racer out of the Bush family, now the school principal over in Aledo, Illinois. 77 Nova there on the left, 72 version here on the right. Excuse me, but I'll take the early model. Him off and running. Bush used the big motor to try and close in from behind. Goes 10-9-0-1 at 149 miles an hour. Dead on with a 1 to get the win. Purcell's 1087 at 124. It looks good. It ran quick. Only problem is it ran too quick. Purcell's day is done. Bush will be back to play. Gary Horseman in his all Ford Falcon. Wheeling up next. Festus, Missouri-based runner. 61 Falcon. Taking on Jordan Pratt, former division champ out of Otsego, Minnesota. 21-year-old kid, won it all a couple of years ago at the ripe young age of 19. Tough competitors both sides of the racetrack. Age and treachery, youth and skill. Which one shall prevail in this pair? It's going to be age and treachery. 1087 at 136 beats us at 1086 at 146. 1/100th of a second difference between the two of them down at the other end of the racetrack. Jordan Pratt sitting inside that car going, well, what's a feller got to do? Denny Napier comes rolling in now, the Little Vega. Out of Pataskala. Craig Meyer out of Kendallville. Pataskala in Ohio, Kendallville here in Indiana, by the way. 62 Plymouth Fury. A face on that car that only Mother Mopar could love. I'm sorry, it is not one of Mopar's better styling body style, in my opinion. Craig loves it. God bless him. Been down there doing her rant, her chant. Hey, come on, Craig. Come on, Craig. Come on, Craig. And you line up against Denny Napier, though, it's going to be tough. And Napier runs dead on 2. Meyer runs dead on 0. Ooh! Man, that was ugly. Napier, 15 on the tree, dead 90 with a 2. 33 on the tree by Meyer, and he runs dead on 0. And Lynn's like, son of a gun, golly gee willikers, gosh darn it, dagnabbit. Pat Bradford left side, the Mopar machine. Oops, there we go. Red light start by Tony Tanner. Tony was red by 3, Matt was green by 3. Mopar car wheeling in on the other end, 1089.6 at 140 miles an hour. 11 flat by Tony. After the red light start, though, it was all 4 knot. Headed down to the other end of the racetrack is Presley Ray Wilkerson. The Papa Motorsports and ATM Innovations. Corvette there on the left-hand side. Royal Purple and Red Horse Performance helping out as well. She takes on Ronnie Maggart. Runner out of Lebanon, Tennessee. The big block, 70 Chevelle. The heavy Chevy from back in the days. Out of the gate goes Ronnie. Wesley Ray in the Corvette out in front. Now the big motor into Chevelle. Starting to make some power on the other end. Finish line winner picker says give it to Presley Ray. 1091.0 at 134. 1094 by Maggart. 146 miles an hour down at the other end of the racetrack in Presley Way. At the finish line, squeezing that one out by 15 thousandths of a second. It's a good race going on here in the first round of Super Street, and from here on out, it only gets better. Ray Miller's Monza up next, the Mansfield, Ohio-based entry. Taking on Bob Schmitz, a little Chevy 2. Robert out of Ohio, past Dashley Ben champ. Round winner here is Ray Miller. Turns it red. Leaving the starting line here in the Chevrolet lane. The Monza's day is done. Schmidt gets to stay and play at least one more round with a 1093 lap. 141 miles an hour. 1088 by Ray Miller. And stock eliminator, left side of the ladder. If you aren't in the lanes, paired up and ready to go, well, you better get there. Stock eliminator, left side of the ladder. Paired up and in the lanes, ready to go. We need you. Ryan Boland's 79 Ford Fairmont. We got Ford Fairmonts and Mercury Zephyrs here this weekend. Ford Falcons. I love the rolling car show known as the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. Boland out of Illinois. Works for the Overhead Door Company, folks. Gary Rogers out of Tipton, Indiana. Royce Trucking, Inc. for the Rogers and Son race operation. Working his way down track. Ryan right there with him alongside that Ford Fairmont, but it's going to be the Camaro. 15 thousandths package by Gary Rogers. 14 on the tree, dead on 1 on the 1090 number to 121. Boland 1082 down at the other end of the racetrack, trying to eke out the win at the other end, and just a little bit too much. They're on the Skillman Auto Group side of the racetrack. The Looney Tunes entry of Nick Vogelsang taking on Phil Smida. Phil, who claimed the Norwalk title here earlier this weekend. Cavalier over on the right-hand side, taking on the Looney Tunes entry. Saying, helpful to stay. Green lights are there. We are off and running. Vogelsang way out in front, but Smida uses a whole lot of top-end charge to close in from behind. Not going to get her done this time. 1088 by Phil. 132 miles an hour. 1095, Nick gets to stay and play. He'll be back. 1095 on a 95-mile-an-hour lap as Brandon Dutton comes in to take on Nicky Looney. Nicky, who literally had the door blown off of the Thunderbird on Friday. All you can say right now is thank goodness for duct tape and clips. Nicky off and running, the T-Bird out of Ohio. Brandon Dutton alongside in his Camaro, closing in on the other end, and it's going to be Dutton. 1093 at 135, takes out a 1093 at 128. Difference off the starting line. The difference at the finish line, essentially, is Dutton grabbed a better light, and they went down track side by side. Ed Jurassic and Allison Prose. Allison wheeling the Super Street car. We'll see her back in a little bit in her Super Comp machine. Young lady out of Terre Haute, Indiana. And she is the winner. Jurassic's Chevrolet powered Mustang. Goes red on this end of the racetrack. Allison free ride into round number 2 and uses it to crank out a 1086 lap at 139 miles an hour. So Allison motors into round number 2 as Bitsy Satterley comes rolling in his ride, taking on Steve Connolly's truck. Little Chevrolet S10 over there on the left-hand side. Indiana-based machine, Bitsy. Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. First gen Camaro. Winner, winner. That makes Melissa happy. As Connolly goes red, drop the top bulb. He gets to stay and play at least one more round. Runs 10.88.9 at 131. Wow, Connolly 10.48, 136 in the truck. He was deep on this end and really quick on the other end. That's low ET of the first round. Not necessarily something you want to have bragging rights for. Randy Jones and Wayne Christopher come rolling in next. The all Mopar Dodge Charger. Former Jegs race operation machine over there on the left-hand side. Ohio-based runner with 500 cubic inches taking on Wayne Christopher's 84 Monte Carlo. Again, stock eliminator. Left side of the ladder, in the lanes, paired up, ready to go. Right side of the ladder, get ready. And now we need all of our stockers to the lanes, please. As Christopher 10.84 at the other end. Randy Jones gets the win. Christopher hands it to him on a silver platter. Randy 10.92 at 123 out of the Mopar ride. Christopher's day is done. The Monte Carlo will go on the box and head back to Illinois. Dave Whitefoot and Donnie Moyer come rolling in next. As the pair of Camaros start working their way down track. David's already celebrating. Don's already fussing and cussing. Moyer turns it red by 7 thousandths of a second. David Whitefoot was green by 2. And a winner running 10.91. 13 thousandths package for David. He was ready. Moyer would have been hard pressed in that opening round anyway. Stock Eliminator. Need all of you to the lanes now, please. Stock Eliminator. Need each and every one of you to the staging lanes, please. Stockers, come on down. Need you to the lanes, please. Rich Piken, Rodney Boyd. Rodney on the right-hand side, the Mount Vernon, Ohio-based Camaro. Rich there in the left lane. 10.81 by Rich, too quick for the Ohio runner. 10.93 by Rodney. He gets to stick around and play a little bit longer at 130 miles an hour. So that 96 model Camaro will be back one more time. Sean Pitts and Gary Whitefoot now. 96 S10 over on the right-hand side. Sean, the London, Ohio-based racer. Camaro there on the left lane. Good looking, clean, hot rod. Cubic run 1090. Whitefoot goes red by 1 thousandth of a second. Sean Pitts looks up at the Race Skillman scoreboard, goes woohoo, and then runs 10.904 at 122. So the red light handed him the win. Runs it out the back door to run dead on 4. Gary Whitefoot 10.83 at 133. Todd Tomamichael, the big old 76 Chevy truck, and Corey Bentley, runner out of Fremont, Nebraska. Corey here on the right-hand side, the little 66 Chevy too. Dennis Weidinger talking yesterday about how that deuce just sets right. It does. It's got to be one of my favorite second generation Chevy Novas. Corey right side is in. Tomamichael is in. Truck out of the gate and running. Way out in front, Corey. Going to head down to the other end of the racetrack, see if he can catch up to the truck. Put the truck out of its misery. But it's going to be the truck putting Corey out of his misery. 10.89.7, taking the stripe by 19 thou and breaking out by 3. 10.91.4. Todd Tomamichael puts together a 30 thousandths package And Corey Bentley inside that Chevy 2 going dag nabbit, along with a few other words. So the truck gets to come back and play. Here comes Ted Ash and Alex Miller, former division champ left side, former division champ right side. Ted over Division 5, Miller here in Division 3. Out of the gate they go, side by side, separated by a thou. Finish line, winner picker, 1091-0. Miller puts together a 20 thousands package. He was 10 on the tree. Ted Ash is 9 thou on the tree. But Let's Miller takes the stripe. Ted goes 1093.5 at 146 and just missed, making the right call down at the other end of the racetrack. Separated by a thou on this end and 24 thousandths down on the other end. Knew that was going to be a good race the minute they pulled up to the line. Grant Zimmerman's Pontiac Firebird there on the left, taking on Brian Horton's Steve Schmidt Performance, Wallbridge Automotive. 78 Malibu here on the right-hand side. Oh, Brian Horton having some problems getting the car to stage. Went to push the button to hold the trans brake, and the car went, see you later. So Grant Zimmerman's going to cruise on through 1075 at 125. And Brian Horton, another gentleman, using the stretches of his vocabulary right now to describe his feelings inside that car. And there may have also been a few words we've never heard before in there. Dick Sperry's Chevy Malibu comes in next. Oh, the sport of drag racing. It is so much fun. Kevin White on the left, out of the Villages of Florida. Coming up from the Sunshine State, little GMC Sonoma. It's our final pair of super street cars. Gets ready to make their way down track. Sperry gets the win. Dick goes trip, zip, zero. Hello. Kevin White lights the red bulb. The truck's already done. Let's see what Sperry can do down at the other end of the racetrack. 1091.6. Nice little 16 thou package for Dick Sperry. Not bad. Gets him into round number 2. So Sperry's Malibu will be back. Kevin White's truck and go in the box and get ready to go, well, back to Florida or off to Joliet or wherever it may want to be. Stock Eliminator, if you're in the pits, you're in the wrong spot. Stock Eliminator needs you to lanes, please. Stockers need you to the lanes because you're coming up next. In fact, Stock Eliminator, round number 2, already at the water box. Stock Eliminator, round number 2, needs you to the lanes, please. Stockers getting ready to come up next. Bradley out there doing a little house cleaning on his starting line, making sure that it is adequately prepared for each and every one of our competitors. I want to say happy birthday to Charlotte Dona. Let's celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to you. I'd sing to you, but I don't want everybody to get up and leave. So we'll just go with a happy birthday wish. Jeff Dona's lovely bride. Happy birthday to my wife, who I know is sitting at home not listening in to DragRacer.tv. Trust me, I know. She is not listening in to DragRacer.tv. Nope, no way, not happening. But happy birthday to my bride anyway. And everybody that is listening in on dragracer.tv, the only thing I can say to you is good morning, wherever you may be and across the country or around the world. Wish you were here in Indianapolis with us. The sky above is blue. Little breeze blowing at us. Great day for racing here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Race day, final eliminations day. We will crown our champions. And again, Phil Smida, Scott Deffenbaugh, and Jeff Smith, our Super Street, Super Gas, and Super Comp winners, determined here at this event. We do need to make arrangements with you, and we will do so after first round to get your Wally presentation done and the photographs taken for your Norwalk wins. Also want to say congratulations to our number one qualifier in Superstock, Matt Forbes. Picks up a case of Lucas Oil Racing Oil. There you go, Matt. And our number one qualifier in Stock Eliminator, Mr. Marty Booth. I have a gift certificate for you here in the tower. And want to remind each and every one of our competitors that while you're here, be sure and stop by and see Dwayne LaFleur. Our Lucas Oil rep gets signed up for the Lucas Oil Contingency Program. Dwayne can explain everything to you. Get you signed up, squared away, and it is a year-long sign-up. So if you sign up here this weekend, you're good through July 4th weekend next year. And Lucas Oil Contingency on both the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Tour and the Mellow Yellow Tour as well. Stock Eliminator, round number 2. We started off with 128. We're down to 64. We're soon going to be at 32. Tim Bettinghouse and Ryan Walther both want to be part of that group of 32, but only one of them's going to be. Ryan over here on the right-hand side, the small block, 69 Nova, dialed in 1121. Handicap racing. Contabulate, figure, and calculate what your car is going to run, cut a light, and then run that number. That's the plan, Stan. Tim's going to give it a shot. He says he's going to run 1236. Ryan Walther's going to give it a shot. He says he's going to run 1121. Which one is going to do the better job of what they prognosticate? Well, we're fixing to find out, as they say down south. Bettinghouse on the left. Ryan on the right. Stock Eliminator round number 2. Here we go. Oh, mile. All I can say is Tim Bettinghouse wasn't looking at the Christmas tree when it came down. 1242 by Tim, but that wasn't enough. 1141, Ryan Walther had the better light, runs the number, and that 69 Chevy Nova going to come back and play at least one more round. He'll be part of our group of 32. Randy Butters, H Stock Automatic, 69 Camaro on the left-hand side, taking on Dave Walters. 327, 66 Deuce. The 4-speed, 67 Chevy Nova. SS over here on the right-hand side. Boy, does that car bring back memories. If it was a lighter shade of blue, I'd say, hey, that's my old car. The only problem is my old car got wrapped around a telephone pole about 3 weeks after I sold it to its new owner. Never in my life was I so upset. But Dave Walther says, you want this one? I'll make you a deal. Randy Butter gets the win. He's 10 on the tree. Runs 1147 on his 1144. 1095 by Dave. Dave a little late out of the gate, grabbing the gears going down the racetrack. And comes up a little bit short. Mike Fuller and Drew Skillman. One of the Cobra Jets going to go to round 3. One of the Cobra Jets and going home is headed home. Drew will have a short toe if it's him. Mike a little bit further back to Michigan if it's him. And he's going to be line 004 red in that gorgeous Mustang. Over on the left-hand side of the racetrack in the Skillman Auto Group. Drew Skillman runner goes 895 at 151 miles an hour. Shooting by down on the other end of the racetrack, so Drew moves on. Mike's day is done. Daryl Boreski, Rolls in alongside Tyler Wodarczyk, former division champ, right side. The Wakarusa, Kansas base, Pontiac Formula Firebird, taking on the 442 Olds convertible. Darrell showed up yesterday, got one qualifier in, got put on the ladder, made first round last night, survived the opening round. He's got to get around Tyler. Here at round number 2. Zareski's green, Tyler's green. Got a race shaping up now as they head down to the other end of the racetrack. They're green on this end. They can race to the other end. It's not decided until right about now. And it'll be Wodarczyk running dead on 5 on his 1062 at 113. 1160 at 112. Tyler was 6 thou quicker out of the gate. 28 thou better at the finish line stripe, and he'll be back to play. Round number 3. Good race between those two. Shane Smith and Doug Duell come rolling in next. Shane on the left-hand side. The double A stick comes rolling in. 427 big block. Duell's C-Stock automatic. 440 Mopar machine, already a winner. Shane, red light start, as we call super gas to the lanes, please. Super gas. Need you to the staging lanes, please. Super gas to the lanes at Doug Duell, 1092. Shutting it off at 89 miles an hour. 1053 for Shane after the big block. Lets the clutch out just a tick early and lights the red bulb on this end of the racetrack. Austin Alvey, second in the division last year, the 69 Nova, and Mike Wolfels, stick shift, 66 Chevy 2 on the right-hand side. Where you going, Mikey? Mike left way early. I mean, that Chevy do snatched the front end up in the air. Austin Alvey gets the win. Mike Wolfel lit the red light bulb, but man, I hope everybody had their picture taker ready and got a shot of that wheel standing Chevy Nova. Wowza. How'd you do? Hey, Warren, how'd you do? Drag Racer TV got a good picture of that? Yeah, there you go. Hope everybody's watching. If not, rewind. What's the time slot on that? Man, I don't think that was exactly what Michael was expecting when he pulled to the line this morning. Rick Winchester off and running. The Baldwin Motion Camaro. Here comes Jeff Myers in the late model Copo, whizzing alongside at the other end and gets the win. 135 miles an hour, going 915 on a 914 dial. 1206 on a 1204. Myers had the better light. Turns the Copo into a round 3 player by 48 thousandths of a second down at the other end of the racetrack. Jimmy Cakel, Oldsmobile left side, and Matt Antrobius in the right-hand lane. The H-Stock automatic entry. Matt had a good opening round run to get to round number 2. Like to keep that string alive and make it to round number 3, but Cakel over there on the left-hand side, that 74.42 sure can make it tough. And again, Marty Booth, your number 1 qualifier. We've got a congratulatory gift certificate for you from our good friends at Lucas Oil. Same for Matt Forbes, our super stock number 1 qualifier. Out of the gate they go, Antrobius right side. Cakel on the left. I will tell you this, one of the drivers leaving the starting line was perfect. And that was the guy who won the race. 11:09 at 115. Taking the finish line stripe and the win by 7 thousandths of a second. Perfect off the reaction time. Matt Antrobius was playing catch up. From there on down the racetrack, runs 11:51 on the 11:50. Just not enough to close the deal down on the other end of the racetrack as Rob Holmes and Jennifer McCormick come rolling in. Again, super gas. Need you to lanes, please. Super gas needs you. Staging lanes, please. Hey, Kimo Sabe, moving on to round number 3. for McCormick, leaving before the tree was even activated. Gets no time. 11:51 by Holmes in the Firebird as he cruises through at 114 miles an hour. So Rob's a player for round number 3. He'll be part of our group of 32 coming back. Again, Super Gas to the lanes, please. Super Gas needs you to the lanes. Round number 1. Come on down. Drew Whalen and Al Wick. 340 CUDA, the 350 Firebird. Al's on an 1146 dial. Drew's on a 1065 dial. Drew can do whatever he wants to do because Al turns it red. CUDA trying to grab a little bit extra at the starting line. Grabbed a little bit too much. Leaving before his side went green, and Drew Whalen runs it through 1063 at 125 miles an hour. And Drew will be part of our round number 3 contingent that gets to come back and play at least one more time. Michael Rook and Billy Rowe. The Wendy's machine for the Tip City, Ohio-based 70 Duster. Little 340 cubic inch E-stock automatic combo. Billy Rowe's L stock automatic, little 289 first edition 66 Mustang. Over here on the right-hand side. 1249 by Billy's going to go first. The Mopar machine going to be marching towards the other end, hopefully to catch him by the time they get 1,320 feet away from here. There goes Billy. And Michael, 5,000ths of a second, too quick off the starting line. Say goodnight, Michael. Billy Rowe gets the win. 1250 on the 1249. And Billy with the vintage 289 Mustang. Be back to play. Ron Simonex, 1560 dial. Taking on Todd Kuhn's 70 GTO on an 1138. Not quite the handicap start he had against the Copo Camaro last night. Ron's off and running. Here comes Todd. Little Ford tempo out in front. 1,000 foot mark. Out in front. 1,320 foot mark. Behind. 1140 at 110 miles an hour. Todd Kuhn gets the win. 1578 by Ron. 84 mile an hour lap down the racetrack. Gave it a run. Pretty good on the lights for both drivers, that pair, but just not enough left in that 84 tempo as they headed down the racetrack. Brian Rogers' machine, the stick shift, 69 Camaro, 302 over there on the left-hand side. And Cody Herron's factory stock B, Cobra Jet, the Mustang. Another pretty sizable handicap. 2.5. Going to Brian. He's green. Cody Wade. He's green. Ford versus Chevrolet. Camaro taking on Mustang. Old school versus new school. Fetish Line Winter Picker says give it to the old school Camaro. Brian Rogers, 1078. Dead on 2. A nice little 31 thousandths package. Cody Herron was 004, but then runs 933 on his 929 dial. Comes up 13 thousandths short down at the other end of the racetrack. Good run by both. Ryan Rogers proven victorious in that one, though, as Randy Taylor comes in to take on Joe Martins. Martin's big block, 396, 4-speed Camaro. The epitome, if you will, of the muscle cars back in the day. Randy Taylor's K-stock automatic, little 305 Camaro. A little bit of an example of what the muscle cars turned into after the insurance industry. Got the icky 80s, if you will. Martin's trying to reel in Taylor at the other end of the racetrack. It gets him. 1024, dead on 0 on the dial on 128 miles an hour. 1187 by Randy Taylor. Joe had a little bit of room to work with down there. Just about punched himself out. Joe's going to take a look at that time slip, shake his head left to right, and go, whew, that was close. So Martins gets to come on back. Randy Taylor's day is done. The boys from England coming up next. Dan and Nick Williams. 396, 4-speed, 69 Chevy Nova here on the right-hand side. Taking on Brian Irwin's Ohio-based 94 Camaro, the LT combination. There goes Brian. Oh, Dan leaves too quick. Red light start for the 4-speed Nova. The boys from the UK out of Northampton, England. Done here in round number 2. 11-14 by Brian. Good for the win after Dan lit the red bulb on this end. And hate to see the boys from England make that real long tow. They had to paddle quite a ways, too, to get here. Hate to see them come up short here in round number 2. Amanda Fouts adjusted sold at. Adjusted over on the right-hand side. A little 200. Let's try that again. A little 281 cubic inch power plant underneath the hood of the Ford Mustang over here on the right-hand side. Got the small motor. Puts it into O-stock automatic. Dialed in at a 1262. Amanda's been down track on a 12.0, a 12.01, and a 12.01, and a 12.00. Got her dialed up to a 12.04 this morning. A little bit of a cross-head winch. Thinks might have, and it's not going to matter. Amanda's been great on the tree all weekend. Must have had the double espresso latte this morning. A little quick out of the gate, and then runs 12.02 on her 12.04. 12.64. Soldat's Mustang will be back to play one more time. Amanda's day is done. And boy, that Oldsmobile and Amanda were looking so good this weekend. Such a consistent race car. Gary Merrick's Baldwin Motion 70 Camaro. 402 cubic inch. Big block combo. Taking on Joey Ship. Attention all ships at sea. Joey Ship coming up. 11:58 the dial. The F-stock automatic entry. Randy's watching. Lowe's watching. Freeman's are watching. I know you guys are all out there watching. Gary Merrick off and running. Joey trying to grab a little bit extra at the starting line. Did just that. Gets the win. 11:67 at 99 miles an hour. In 24 by Merrick at 128. For speed down at the other ends. Joey will be back to play. Round number 3. Mike McDonald. In his 70 Chevelle. 350 small block. Chris Utzler. Over here on the right-hand side, the Martinsville, Indiana-based Buick Apollo. There goes Chris. Here comes Mike. At finish line stripe, it's going to be McDonald getting the win. 11:72 on his 11:71. Chris is going to look at that time slip and go, 12.069 on a 12.07 dial and out by a thousandth of a second. Darren Summerton's K-stock automatic entry, the 4-door, 77 Malibu. They were still working on the transmission in the pits this morning when I came in. See how good they did. Bob Gear over on the left-hand side. Bob and Eleanor. 350 combination, 72 Buick Grand Sport. Can they chase down the taxi cab? Yes, they can. 12.02, 101 miles an hour. 12.97 by Darren at 101. Super Gas, need your lanes, please. Super Gas. To the lanes, please. Super Gas. Need you to the lanes, please, if you're not here yet. Jeff Smith's up next, the Kentucky-based runner. Another 305 mid-80s Camaro. And Marissa Hammond is a heads-up H-stock automatic combo coming at you now. Jeffrey left side, Marissa right lane. First one to the finish line, winner, chicken dinner. Or steak, or prime rib, or whatever you want, I guess. 11:75, 111 miles an hour. Jeffrey dead laid out of the gate, runs 11:53 and comes up short. Marissa stole that one on the starting line. She was 13 on the tree, and Jeff Smith was snoozing. That's the only way to put it. Jeff Taylor, 974 the dial. Tom Russell, 1024. Big block, first gen Camaro. Taking on the GoPro. Out of the gate they go. Good lights, both runners. This is going to be fun. Two experienced drivers. Who's going to have the better stripe? It's going to be Taylor. 974 20057 thousandths package. Tom Russell's 15 on the tree, runs 10:23.6 on his 10:24. Whew. Told you it was going to be a good one. Jeff Taylor throws down a 7 thousandths package and says, "You want some? Come and get it." Donnie Vaught and Steve Sullivan coming up next. Donnie over on the left-hand side. The small block, 67 Camaro. And Sullivan's in-stock automatic Mustang. The pony off and running. Here comes the Camaro. Working his way through the gearbox. Behind that mouse-motored combination is Donnie. Sullivan looking over his shoulder, sizing up the nose of that Camaro and says, "See ya." 12-13 at 105. Steve Sullivan's your winner. 1098, dead on 6 by Donnie. Left a little bit back here on this end. Couldn't cash it in on that end. And Sullivan will be back in our group of 32. Julie Bierman taking on Johnny Serrett now. It's the C-Stock automatic. 95 Camaro, the LT combination, fuel injected machine here on the right-hand side. Julie with the conventional 400 cubic inch Pontiac, carburetor on top, 68 Firebird. Julie 1103. Not that much of a handicap start. Serrett right alongside her now. The F-body battle going on down track. Firebird left side. Camaro right lane. Winner, Julie Bierman. 1106, 118, 9 thousandths the margin at the stripe. 11 flat by John Serrett at 118 miles an hour. As they cross the finish line down at the other end, Julie will be back for round number 3. Timmy Lowe and Dale Massengill. Little 360 cubic inch, 79 Dodge Aspen. 1116 for Massengill. Tim Lowe, the Copo Camaro, the farmer out of Indiana. Red light start there. Tim Lowe dead laid out of the gate, doesn't make any cotton picking difference. Don't know if he's a cotton farmer or not, but doesn't make any cotton picking difference. 1040 with the 6 by Tim on his 1040 dial. 1119 by Dale after the red light start. The Aspen's day is done. Here comes your Columbus champ, Logan Galbraith, taking on George Warren. 390 cubic inch, 67 Fairlane. Don't see Ford Fairlanes much anymore, except for, well, here on the racetrack. The Blair Patrick Race Engine Shop. 390 combination, set to sail for the other end. The in-stock automatic, Pontiac Grand Am. I said it yesterday and I'll say it today. The Pontiac design engineers were snoozing when they did the poncho. Breakout for both. Logan's under by more, 12:32.4. His day is done. 11:27.6 on the 11:28 by George Warren. That 394 will be back to play one more time. So Warren will be back. Logan's day is done. Charlie Downing on a 1012 dial in the Varsity Ford Cobra Jack. Kenny Friedman's in-stock automatic machine, the 80 Malibu wagon. And that little wagon's pretty consistent little race car. Got to be careful of Kenny Friedman. He made it to the finals back in Columbus. Here comes Charlie closing in, hard top end. Not going to get him. 1020 on a 1012. Kenny Friedman with 008, runs 1272. Takes 22 thousandths of a second margin down at the other end of the racetrack. And the Independence, Kentucky-based grocery-getting Malibu wagon will be back for round number 3. Chris Chaney rolls in now. The AA stock automatic, 427.69 Camaro. As Alan Reinhardt would say, cool car, be cooler with a clutch in it. Dan Toole up on the left, the little 4-cylinder Ford. 4-second handicap start for the pony. Chaney sits, waits, goes. Skies the front end of that big block Camaro. Sets it right back down. Hustling down to the other end of the racetrack, pulling up alongside the Mustang and gets him. 1024. at 113, 1471. May have been a very good year. But for Dan Toole, it's a lousy elapsed time when he's set up to run a 1460. So Dan's day is done. Chris Chaney moves on. Another 69 Camaro comes rolling in. That of Brian Livingood. Over there on the left-hand side. Big block, B-Stock automatic entry left lane at T.C. Morris. Pontiac GTO. General Motors had a great idea when they brought the Holden up, rebadged it as the Pontiac GTO. Unfortunately, the marketing guys did a lousy job of selling. That is one of the neatest cars to ever hit the highway. Unfortunately, nobody ever knew about it. TC says, hey, I'll take one and make a race car out of it. Well, he did. 1095 on a 1097. TC's day is done. 1059. Brian Livingood gets to stay and play at 124 miles an hour. So Brian gets to stay and play. TC's day is done. Aaron Allison and Joe Bellinger come rolling in next. First generation, latest generation. Camaro's a pair. A-Stock automatic, 396. Bellinger here on the right-hand side. Aaron Allison, a 943 dial out of the Copo over on the left. Joe on a 1072. Old school, new school. A couple of mid-30 drivers getting ready to duke it out. Joe's off and running. So's Aaron. Off the starting line, trying to grab a little bit of an advantage was Bellinger. He was successful. He was successful at the stripe, running dead on 5 on his 1072 dial. 944 on a 943 by Aaron. That one was one on the starting line. Bellinger grabbed a couple of Hun and never let go of them as they went down the racetrack. Mike McGinley's Pontiac up next. A heads up, H-Stock automatic battle again. We've already had one. Let's see if we can have another. Marissa Hammond stole her heads up, H-Stock automatic run. Bo Fowler had the quicker car in qualifying. Let's see what Mike McGinley can do in a heads up battle. It's going to be Bo. 11:35 beats the 11:33. McGinley had the right idea. Bo just able to grab a little bit better starting line reaction time. Takes the wind light and the stripe by 43 thousandths of a second as they both cruise through at 115 miles an hour. Darrell Steiger's 340 70 Challenger on the right-hand side. Brent Vogus with the California Special. 302 cubic inch K-Stock automatic Mustang there in the left lane. 68 edition Mustang Coupe, left-hand side, 1248 the dial. The Mopar machine on a 1091 going to give the Ford. That little Ford 302 combination gets the handicap to go. Brent out of the gate and running. Darrell trying to reel him in now. 340 cubic inches of Mopar, singing the high note down at the other end and gets the win. 1094 to 115 by Darrell. 1244 on a 1248 the dial for Brent Vogus. Gary Summers should be taking on Bob Schmalz, but Schmalz is killing us with not being here with this Corvette. Really? Really? So Gary Summers gets the competition by with no Bob Schmalz. Really? Yeah, there's a whole lot of echoing going on, let me tell you. 1383 by Gary Summers, the little 302. Mustang 2, and that, boys and girls, puts round number 2 of Super Stock in the books. Marty Booth, Matt Forbes, still have your gift certificates here in the tower. Congratulations for you from Lucas Oil. Need to come by and see me here in Race Control. Matt Forbes and Marty Booth need to come see me here in Race Control. Pick up your number 1 qualifying bonus gift certificate from our good friends at Lucas. And again, don't forget to stop by and see Dwayne LaFleur and get signed up for that Lucas Oil contingency program. Support those that support you. 990s up on the scoreboards. Super Gas getting ready to roll in. Ron Ruggles going to step in and tell you all about it as the Mopar machine of Robert Coleman Out of Columbia, Missouri, comes pulling up on the left-hand side, and Robert parked this car in the winner's circle on more than one occasion on the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Tour. Going to start his day off taking on the one, Ray Conley, in his 63 Corvette Roadster. By the way, if you're a betting person, take the Corvettes and give the field. That's just a little inside information.
Well, that's why we still run them down the racetrack. And, well, sometimes you think this car is going to win or that car is going to win until the finish line win light comes on for the one you thought was going to be having a date with the interstate. Well, as Bob Unkefer says, as he's been calling the action as we're getting underway, unrespectable Coleman, Conley gone. They're clean, they're green, and they are starting to size each other up at the 8-mile finish line. Will determine the winner, and it'll be Ray Conley, the champ. Ray goes 9 over the 999, and Robert Coleman, problems set in down there as he goes 10:01. They were off pace that time, so Ray Conley wanted to make sure that he was good to turn on the win light. Rocky Clark up next, the Buckeye runner. He'll lock into the Chevrolet Performance side, and then Bryce Hunt, the Hunt & Sons Memorial Truck out of Brownsburg, Indiana. Local boy, wants to do proud for the gang here. The Hunt & Son Memorial, one of our sponsors here at the racetrack during the ET Bracket Series. Bryce was out practicing a couple days ago. Bryce taking the early lead down there. Rocky's turning that big Chevrolet loose down there, trying to size up the finish line and that truck. But Rocky gets down there too quick and breaks out. Bryce Hunt took the safe route and has the W into the next round. Hunt 994, Rocky 9857. All right, Nathan Vrooman's been in a few finals in his early career, the farmer out of Wabash, Indiana. And then Mike Jurasik, running for Powerhouse Race Cars. Got the Corvette, Mike's settled in, and the Beretta, Nathan Vrooman. Got the beams planted tight, straightforward, staring the tree down. All right, we're looking good there. They're pounding the pavement. Finish line's going to be a winner for Mike Jurasik. He goes 991. He took the stripe down there as he said, well, I feel comfortable about that. Good plan. Mike takes the win. 993 for Vrooman. And Vrooman's day ends. Rock Haas, Mike Kramer. Rock with the beautiful Don Davis built hot rod out of Commerce, Michigan. He'll be on the east side. Mike Kramer trying to turn on the win light with the truck. That's the S10 version truck. That's a cool hot rod. Rock's going to fall back. He's going to depend on that horsepower to get the job done. He's hustling down through there the east side. And Rock Haas stayed in it until he turned the win light on. He was 991, made it easy. Mike goes 997 down at the top end. Rock felt good about taking the stripe, and it worked out. How about Greg Smith, the blue Lumina, 93 Lumina, but the cooler ride is Randy DeLuca's Fleet Line, 1950. That is so sleek, it looks like it was made for the racetrack. So it's Ohio and Indiana as Randy's going to try to take the west side. All right, a huge field of super gas coming at us, and Randy's cars fell off pace. Of course, red light, he's disappointed in that for sure, as Greg Smith. Well, Greg just kept the pedal down. It was a time run for them, and they go 9.875, but that was a very short race, and Greg Smith, well, he's got to keep working at it. They'll use that run to their advantage for sure. Greg White, Derek Fitzpatrick up next. Greg White with the multicolored Beretta. He'll try to cash in on the Chevrolet Performance side, but Derek Fitzpatrick, he'll take that LeBaron. He's got the same game plan. So they're pre-staged, sitting on the bulbs. There we go. Nice. A little bit of smoke drifting out behind that LeBaron over there, but the wind light comes on for the LeBaron. Derek Fitzpatrick took the stripe, takes the win by 19 thou. Derek goes one over the dial. He had about 200s in his pocket. Greg goes dead on with a 9, ran the number down there, but that reaction time kind of putting him in the back seat on that one. Quickly, Hank Stewart, Dave Davis hustling down track, 8th mile, they're already there. Nice run at it. Dave Davis dead on with a 6 for a 30 pack, and 997 Hank Stewart down there. Not sure what Hank was thinking down there. Dave Davis went ahead and took the stripe down at the top end. Steve Whitlow, Troy Stone up next. Troy trying the Super Gas class, brand new Corvette. And Steve Whitlow's Mustang will be marching down the Ray Skillman lane in just a second. So we are moving through the competition here very rapidly this morning. Rock Haas making the return after his battle. We'll send a couple more faster the other way. Troy stays on those stops quite a bit. That car goes out about 50 feet. And it's like he slams on the brakes and he's hustling on down there. Saw the brake lights come on for Stone, but he's got the wind down there at the top end of the racetrack. 1 thou apart at the start. Whitlow was 999s. Down at the top end, and Troy Stone just flies on around with the wind. Stone goes 993, and Tony Elrod and Wally Hack on the attack. How about the Monza? Wally Hack, the electrician running for Hack Racing. Very small block engine combination, so will not be on the stops very long as Tony Elrod trying to take the win for Howell, Michigan. All right, clean and green. We're flying low down the racetrack. They're going to the northbound to see who goes to the next round, and it will be Wally, Hack, both of them 991s. Tony was about 8 thou closer on the 991. 8,000 separating them out of the gate. The closest margin of victory in Super Gas, .0003. Wow. Tommy Turner, Bill Nuzzo, they're putting on a show here in Super Gas at the Summer Spectacle here at Lucas Oil Raceway. There goes Tommy. Bill taking the early lead. Tommy's going to unleash the power. He is pedaling hard, trying to get there, and runs dead on with a 4, but Bill, with the reaction time, takes the win by 22 thou. Bill Nuzzo took the stripe. He was 11 on the tree, one over the 990 number. Tommy Turner dead on with a 4, but gave up 300ths at the start. Boy, did that cost him. The different margin of victory was just about the difference in the reaction time. How about Pat DeBottis, the retired police officer? James Wilson goes red by 1 thou, and Pat goes right into round number 2. Hey, you take him any way you can get him. Well, Pat went ahead and run it out the back door. He was 991, and James Wilson goes 990 with a 6. Missed the tree by 1 thou. Pat says, hey, we'll take him. Pat's light was green. That's all he needed that time as Rob Stigl and Bob Hankshaw pull in. The Dragon Wagon, that is a jet black 66 Chevy 2 wagon. He can park it in my driveway. I'll take it for a cruise on a Sunday. Bob Hankshaw, the Firebird next door, 990s all day. Well, not all day, just till we get through Super Gas. Got to try to run the number, cut the light. Well, I'll tell you what, Rob had a perfect light, and Bob Hankshop's got the win light on the other side. Bob just hung in there long enough to take it down. Rob way off the number with a 10.03, and Bob goes down there, goes flying by, took the stripe, takes the win. Bob ran 993, but Bob was not bad on the tree, but Rob just massacring the tree, but didn't turn on the win light as Rob Kropfeld, now Walker, pull into the beams. Walker on the right side, the Trans Am. He'll try to take down the Camaro of Rob Kropfeld. It's pretty good racing. We're just barely getting started with the party. Everybody's trying to get communication around too, and they're working hard at it. Rob had about 200ths off the tree, goes 991, taking the win away from Al Walker. Walker gets down there, breaks out by 3 thou. Rob took the stripe down there first, and it worked out for him. Good plan. Kenny LaFollette, Janice Swan, the little orange opal, the nutrition coach out of Mooresville, Indiana. They'll park it on the east side. Kenny running for LaFollette's machine shop. Got that big block 4 to get the job done for the Mustang. The racers have been bringing it. Oh, this is going to be good. 8th mile. Now they're sizing each other up down there in the decision zone, and the wind light comes on for Janice Swan. Janice was 004 on the tree, 994 out the back door. And Kenny LaFollette did take the stripe down there. He felt like it was the right plan, but breaks out by quite a bit, and I'm going to leave it right there as Devin Eisenhower and Kenny Threat come in. Devin Eisenhower, the defending winner. The champ. Kenny is in a battle with Devin. They're both in it to win at the finish line. I'll tell the story here in just a second. And Kenny gets the win. Kenny goes 992, takes the win by 13 thousandths of a second as Devin Eisenhower goes 994. Kenny behind about 100th. That was a good tight race down there. Teddy Barlow and Joe Harper looking sharper with the Avenger. Joe Harper